Alright, so Rhekd took round 1 of this best of 3 series, and Rhekd versus Zook, Cleric versus Druid, Leader versus, Controller, I guess? Is that what a Druid is? Controller slash Striker?
Controller, yeah. With, slash Striker.
Alright, we enter round 2, the arena has been reset. Combatants, are you ready?
I fart. In agreement, that is.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Alright, we have shifted corners. Rhekd is now in the northwest, Zook is in the southeast. Let's roll initiative.
Rhekd rolls a 14.
And Zook rolls a 5.
A promising start. The nimble, wily gnome reacts a lot slower than the armor-laden, short and stout dwarf. Alright, round 1, Rhekd.
Rhekd moves and opens the door.
Zook.
He opens the door.
Round 2, Rhekd.
Rhekd moves and he casts Bless on himself.
Rhekd buffing himself for battle. Zook. Zook scampers around. Round 3, Rhekd.
Moves and opens a door.
And he sees Zook standing out in almost the precise center of the battlefield, while Rhekd is off to the west in a doorway.
Holy snap crap.
Zook.
Alright, well, since I've never used this power, and I really do want to use it, I'm gonna use Ghost Sound.
Oh god.
Just for shits and giggles, and I'm going to do the sound. A very loud sound of Rhekd farting to simulate what I was hearing last time.
Hopefully this is Zook taunting and not just having so given up that he is resorting to making fart sounds.
And now that's done with, I'm gonna cast Flame. Yes! Fumble!
In true Zook fashion, Zook fumbles, and so he is dazed. His turn ends. Round 4, Rhekd. You get combat advantage on Zook if you strike him.
Yeah, yeah, right. I cannot go diagonally across here, right?
You can, but it'll require a dex check to avoid falling in. Rhekd instead opting to skirt around the pit rather than leaping across the corner.
Yeah, 'cause you know me, leaping around is never a good idea.
You got like 13 dex. Your dex is probably higher than Zook's.
Are you serious?
Let's see. No.
Yeah, Zook has 13 as well.
The nimble thingy versus the apparently nimble dwarf. I cast Sacred Flame on him.
Rhekd mutters his prayer, die in a fire.
Do I have combat advantage? Yeah, right?
Yes, you do,
Yeah.
because he's dazed.
And Rhekd rolls a 17 versus Reflex for 11 points of radiant damage, and he'll take 3 points. No, wait. Temporary HP.
Wait, and one ally you can see chooses to either... Oh my
never
god.
mind.
Oh my god. Were you gaining 3
Oh,
temporary
wait.
hit... Oh god.
Holy shit. I think of myself as an ally to myself. Here, I'll grant you a saving throw.
So, due to technical oversight, Rhekd received some, I don't know, like 12, maybe, temporary hit points last round that he shouldn't have.
Yeah,
Oh,
maybe.
something like that.
It's amazing all the things we miss.
So, under normal circumstances, in a PvE, that is to say, players versus monsters, or just regular D&D setting, I would not retroactively correct any such mistakes. I said, okay, fine, you got those temporary hit points when you shouldn't have. However, because this is a PvP competition, in order to ensure fairness to John, we're gonna give Zook 12 temporary hit points right now.
Sounds good.
Yo.
However, given the way this matchup has started, with Rhekd already wounding Zook down to 29 out of 40, Zook already fumbling and getting the terrible initiative roll, it's looking like Zook is falling back into his rut of terrible luck. But prove us wrong, John, as Zook is up.
Zook. Let's see. I'm gonna run away. I'll cast
Okay.
a Flame Seed. 17 versus Reflex hit for 5 damage, and fire around Rekoj.
Rhekd.
Sorry.
Rhekd down to 33 out of 38.
Yeah, we don't know where Rekoj is.
He is in the stands, in heaven, Or in the celestial plane. No, wait. There's no way he's going to the celestial plane. He's burning in the 9 hells of Baator, but watching on the sidelines. I imagine him holding up one of those little banners or little flags, waving it. Probably rooting for Zook, since he doesn't know Rhekd. Nothing personal.
Yeah, probably too.
Round 5, Rekoj. Round 5, Rhekd!
Yeah.
Rekoj bursts forth from the underworld and kills Zook in one shot.
Then he starts eating him.
So that's how much damage?
3.
3, I think?
So Rhekd down to 30 out of 38 as he passes through Zook's flames.
And then he will move again. Hello.
Rhekd approaching Zook.
And that's it.
Why, hello.
Zook.
Zook will cast Flame Seed on Rhekd. 9 versus Reflex, that's a miss.
Round 6, Rhekd.
Rhekd moves and readies to cast a Sacred Flame the moment he sees that Zook again.
Zook.
I open the door. I'll take a run action.
Zook running, and thus suffering a -5 penalty to attack rolls until the start of his next turn, and granting combat advantage to all enemies until the start of his next turn.
And I will cast a Flame Seed, even though my penalties.
And Rhekd has cover, but yes, you get to cast. So Rhekd gets his ready to action. Zook has cover relative to Rhekd.
It's a regular cover, right?
Regular cover. Let Rhekd make his attack first.
Roll 17 versus Reflex. 11 points of radiant damage.
Rhekd wrecks Zook's temporary hit points, leaving him with 1.
Alright, so for my Flame Seed he has regular, and I get a -5, is that right?
That's correct. I believe that's a -7 total.
Alright, 8 versus Reflex.
Zook misses, obviously. Round 7, Rhekd.
Rhekd moves. Then he will use his Beacon of Hope power. He rolls a 27 versus Will. Wow, that's like very high. Target is weakened until the end of his next turn. And me and my allies get a 5 hit points.
Rhekd back up to 35 out of 38. Zook sitting on virtually 30 out of 40, but weakened. His already weak attacks will be doing half damage. Zook is up.
He'll cast another Flame Seed from where he is right now. So is this there's still cover, or is this no cover?
No cover.
Okay, 17 versus Reflex and 1 damage. And there's fire around him. And I'm gonna move away.
Zook singes Rhekd before strategically retreating. Round 8, starting next round, the battlefield will begin to contract, and Zook and Rhekd are toward the southern edge, so they'll definitely have to start moving. Rhekd is up.
If I stay on my current spot, do I take fire damage as well?
No.
No, sir.
I take it that the fire also deals only half damage because it was cast when he was weakened?
Ongoing damage and damage that isn't generated by an attack roll is not affected, so it's full damage. Full 3 damage.
I will not move and ready to cast another Sacred Flame when I see him.
Alright. Zook.
Zook will cast a Obscuring Mist centered on this.
How big is it?
I believe it's a burst one. It starts with a burst 1, and each round I can increase it by 1 to a max of burst 5.
Zook summons some mist in the center of the battlefield to obscure the battlefield. And as we move into round 9, the battlefield begins to collapse upon itself. Rhekd, round 9.
I take it that the fire around me is gone now?
Yes.
What does the Obscuring Mist do anyways?
It's a fog.
Create squares of obscured terrain, so more difficult to shoot.
Okay, I'll go in it.
Rhekd moves into the heart of the obscuring mist. Zook, who can see Rhekd, although it's a little obscured.
I'm gonna cast a Flame Seed. 15 versus Reflex hits for 2 damage.
Zook singes Rhekd once again.
And there's fire around him. And I'll move there, and as a minor action, I will make the fog persist and increase another square.
Round 10. The battlefield continues to collapse.
So Rhekd readies an action to set off another sacred flame when he sees Zook.
Zook.
I move one square up. Does Rekoj take his attack?
Yes, he does.
Actually I don't, because I just checked Sacred Flame is 5 ranged, so he's out of my range.
Oh my god. Is this the same power you've been using over and over?
Yeah, but that one I've never used it within like farther than 5, so it's okay.
I question that.
No, seriously, that's why I've always moved to approach him. His flaming seed
okay.
is actually a long range, so I realized from the beginning that, oh shit. But I never said anything because otherwise, well, he would just run away.
Gotcha.
Well, I will cast Flaming Seed. 15 versus reflex, hit for 4 damage.
Zook very slowly whittling away at Rheked's health. Rhekd down to 28.
And I will minor again to increase the fog.
Round 11. Rhekd.
Okay, I'll just make it simple. I'll just get outside of the thing. So I'll take the 3 points of damage.
Rhekd is singed down to 25.
And then I'll use my Divine Glow power. That's 20 versus reflex, dealing 11 points of radiant damage.
And with that, Zook is bloodied down to 19 out of 40.
And I'll use my Fade Away ability.
Okay, in that case I will use my action point, and I will move back into the mist.
Zook becomes invisible. Zook.
If you go back in the fire, does he take extra fire damage?
He didn't go back in the fire.
Okay.
But yeah, you would. I believe you would at least.
I'm pretty sure Rhekd is not stupid enough to like see that there's a fire and be like, oh, I'm gonna walk back through the fire.
Oh, you haven't played well. I'm telling you. There's fire on the ground, people walk through it. It's pretty bad. Anyway, I will spend a minor to increase this fog and to keep it going.
Zook does some shenanigans in the dark as round 12 comes around and the battlefield continues to collapse. Round 12, Rhekd does not see Zook anywhere.
Ready to cast Sacred Flame on him if I see him.
Alright, Zook is up.
Zook will use second wind.
And is he sustaining the fog to make it grow to its maximum size?
Yes, he is. And he will shift into Lynx form. Wait, yeah, shift into Lynx form.
As round 13 comes around, the battlefield continues to shrink. Rhekd.
He'll move a bit, and same as last round.
Rhekd maintains his readied action. Zook.
Zook will sustain the fog.
So Rhekd gets his readied action as he spots Zook through the fog. Is Zook still under the effects of total defense?
I did that last round. It lasts till the end of this round, or at the beginning of this round?
I think it's generally to the beginning of your next turn.
Alright, then he is not.
So, just the concealment?
Yep.
Ooh, my first fumble. Rhekd rolls not 0, but 1.
Actually, a readied action is it's a perfect time to fumble, because you're not going to actually really miss out on a turn. However, if Zook continues his charge here, he will get the total... not total, combat advantage, rather.
And that was one move. Yeah, I will charge. Now, does he get concealment? Because we're fighting in the fog, or how does this work now?
Yeah, I believe you both have concealment to each other now.
Partial, right?
Yes. So that should counteract the combat advantage, but you still have your +1 from the charge.
Alright, 11 versus reflex, which I think is a miss.
That it is.
Yes.
On round 14, the battlefield continues to collapse. Rhekd.
Rhekd shifts and casts a Sacred Flame on Zook again. Rolls a 22 versus reflex for 6 points of radiant damage.
Dropping Zook to 23 out of 40 hit points. Zook.
Zook will sustain the fog. Do I have to make a dex save if I move there? Or
No.
I'll move there and I'll charge him. 8 versus reflex.
There are those bad rolls. Battlefield continues to collapse. Round 15, Rhekd.
Rhekd take a step back again and cast his Sacred Flame. 9 versus Reflex, so he misses.
Battle of Champions right here. Battle of Champions. Zook.
Zook will sustain the fog. He'll move up and charge against Rhekd. 22 versus Reflex. Hit for 4 damage and combat advantage.
Rhekd is brought down to 21 out of 38 and bloodied, while Zook is not bloodied.
Wait, I'm not bloodied.
He's not bloodied.
Oh, okay.
This is the last turn that the thing is collapsing?
Yes, the battlefield collapses one final time as Rhekd is up.
Rhekd shifts and casts another Sacred Flame.
Rhekd is now backed against a wall.
Rhekd rolls a 24 versus Reflex and deals 9 points of radiant damage.
Landing a devastating blow on Zook, bringing him down to 14 hit points. Zook can take 2 more hits at most. Zook.
I'll take a step back and charge. 13 versus Reflex. Hit for 6 damage.
Was that even factoring in the combat advantage?
No, actually it wasn't, I forgot.
Well, nonetheless, still a hit. Rhekd down to 15 out of 38. And with Rhekd now backed against a wall and Zook in front of him, Rhekd can no longer back away to cast his spells.
I will also increase the fog again, and that'll be my turn.
You can't. It's maximum 5.
Oh, just to sustain it though, like keep it.
Okay, gotcha. Round 17, Rhekd at 15 out of 38, while Zook is at 14 out of 40. I smell some healing coming.
If I double move, that doesn't provoke, right?
There's no such rule. You can double shift,
Okay, I'll double
but that's
shift.
2 move actions to shift, yeah.
Yeah, okay. And then I will use my Second Wind.
Which is a minor action for dwarves.
And I regain +5 because of the Beacon of Hope.
Rhekd jumps from 15 to 29 hit points. Zook.
Zook will move away around Rekoj and charge again. Rhekd, sorry. 15 versus Reflex, hit for 8 damage and grants combat advantage. And I will sustain the fog.
Rhekd down to 21. Round 18, Rhekd.
Yeah, I'll move back and cast a Sacred Flame.
Zook has been carefully maneuvering himself so that Rhekd has to keep backing himself up against a wall.
And I stun myself because I roll an 18 versus Reflex, 10 radiant damage.
Zook down to 4 hit points, cannot survive another hit. We were in this situation before. Rhekd is dazed, but with 21 hit points, things are looking bad for our little gnomish friend. Zook.
Zook will back away and charge. 7 versus Reflex. Hit for a little, well, doesn't hit.
Zook missing at a critical time. Does he have no big guns to bring out?
And
Oh,
I'll
he
end
has
my
another
turn.
turn.
Rhekd recovers from his stun and is no longer under the influence of combat advantage. So as we move back to Zook, Zook will be taking a net -1 to his attack roll, +1 from the charge, -2 from the concealment.
Fog goes away, I didn't sustain it.
Oh, well there you go.
I will use my Savage Frenzy. 6 versus Reflex.
That's unfortunate. Zook still has his action point, right?
Yeah, I will use my action point, and I will use Grasping Claw. 18 versus Reflex, hit for 6 damage.
Rhekd down to 15 out of 38 and slowed. But too little, too late. Bad stroke of luck has lost Zook at this battle as we move to round 20. Rhekd.
Well now I'm bloody, I can use my other power to regain my armor's Second Wind.
That rockets Rhekd back up to 29 out of 38 hit points, and he's only gone through half of his healing potential.
I'll shift, because I don't know if I'll miss, and believe it or not, I'm gonna try to make a basic melee attack. Nope, I miss with a 9.
Does that stun you, or is it only on special cleric powers?
I think it still stuns me, so yeah, I'm stunned.
Rhekd stunned, but with 29 hit points, he can afford it. We move to Zook, sitting on 4.
Zook will move and charge him, since he's stunned. 19 versus Reflex, hit for 7 damage.
Rhekd down to 22 out of 38. Round 20, Rhekd recovers from his daze or from his stun, but he's still under the influence of combat advantage as we move to Zook.
I'll use Grasping Claw. 22 versus Reflex, hit for 8 damage and slow.
Rhekd down to 14 out of 38. Round 22, Rhekd.
Rhekd takes a step back, casts Healing Word as a minor action on himself. Oh crap, I hate math at this time of the day.
It's 5 plus 4 plus 2 plus 4.
That's 15.
So
right?
15, yeah.
Holy crap.
So, wow.
Rekoj uses his Healing Word and heals himself by 24 hit points, making him go back up to 38 out of 38. And then as his standard action of the round, he uses his Sacred Flame and hopes that he actually hits. And he rolls a 21 versus Reflex for 11 points of damage.
And Rhekd puts Zook out of his misery, but right before he did that, he healed up to maximum hit points for the final insult before taking out the poor druid, who again dealt a ton of damage. Wow.
Yeah, I think that this pacifist healer is OP'd, but only on one-on-one, I think.
I think only versus a character that doesn't do a ton of damage like Zook. I think against someone who has a higher damage output, I think you're in trouble. This
Yeah.
was well played. I think Zook really did his best, and overall his luck wasn't that bad. But I think Zook was just overall an underpowered character. He had, low stats. Just to put this to rest for everyone finally, although, John did have bad luck in the rolls. To begin with, he doesn't have a lot of high modifiers to his attack rolls. He has like +3 maybe versus the, +5 or more that everyone else gets. And all of his defenses are just in the toilet. 15 AC, 12 Fortitude, 13 Reflex, 15 Will. Zook is the... what's the expression? The little train that could... I don't know. How Zook managed any success despite his horrible shortcomings is just a testament to John's experience and ability as a player.
How did his character die again in the campaign? It was because of that stupid trap, right?
And it was not John's fault. It was Nick that made Zook go forward on his own, the fragile controller of the party. And he got stuck in a trap.
Yeah.
A trap, might I add, that he was pretty much the only character that could not escape from because he's so weak.
Yeah.
So Rhekd wins this best of 3 series 2-0 and moves on to the semifinals.
Where he's gonna get slaughtered.
Don't forget to leave a comment below to place your bets on the Rhekd vs Zook matchup, which will be posted next week.